We are back. Thank you, everybody, for hanging in there with me on this evening. I know I kind of pushed this live stream to start at one time, then I had to push it back a little bit further, and I actually ended up leaving the meeting I was in order to get back over here with you all because, man, I was in an alumni meeting listening to why they support Kamala Harris. It was yeah, that was pretty bad. That was pretty bad. I mean, shout out to the house. I'm disappointed though. I'm disappointed at an epic level because some of the things I heard were just completely nonsense. They're complete nonsense. But I digress. I'm not going to take too long on that. I do think I'm going to probably talk about that. Maybe if you're a member of the channel, I think I'm going to do a review of this because there were some salient people that popped up in there. Jamal Bryant was in there, a couple of other notable Morehouse men. There were some that were making cases that I think maybe we should look into and maybe unpack it a little bit and maybe make sure we understand. This is the understanding of why, quote unquote, Black men are being pushed to support Kamala Harris with all of her foibles and all of her missteps. This is why Black men are being pushed to support her. And I think it's very interesting. So there's a lot to unpack there. So if you're a member of the channel, thank you so much for supporting me. I think I'm just going to unpack that one day and I'm going to cut out some of the ones that maybe weren't that most important, but there are some that I think really show where the highly melanated male is being pushed, because the highly melanated man is not willingly walking into the mall. They're being drugged into the mall. They're being shoved into the mall. But a lot of them are thinking, and they don't really want to go into this meat grinder. They're being forced to go in it because you're a Black man, because you're Morehouse, because you live in the South, because of racism, or because Trump, this, that, and the other. It's very interesting. So I'm looking forward to unpacking that. So thank you all so much for your patience. Thank you so much to the moderators. I was trying to jump in a little bit in the live chat while I was paying attention and listening. So I was trying to be multitask. I might have did a good job. I don't know. I'm glad I recorded that thing though. So I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you so much for hanging out, because you know what? You saw the thumbnail and you saw the title, and you know what we're about to do on tonight. Tonight, we're going to look at Lady Harris. We're going to talk about Kamala Harris and what are her accomplishments and what is it that she has done that makes her so worthy, if you will. So, I mean, again, I just listened to men almost crying about their support and affection for Kamala Harris. And I'm like, yikes. I don't feel that same way. I don't know. I'm not certain I understand what you're experiencing there, my guy. I don't know what I understand. So tonight, I had fully intended to go through several articles. If you look down in the description, there are several articles, Newsweek and a couple other news sources that are kind of excoriating Lady Harris for her record. And I've been focusing on what has been her record since she's been a vice president. I understand she might have did something great when she was attorney general. I understand she might have did something great when she was DA. I understand that as senator, she might have did something great. But I'm asking, what has she done in the last 4 years that you can use to build your case for future success? Now, of course, past victories are not necessarily rewarded in the future. I got you. All I'm saying is, however, it gives us a good gauge in where you're going to go. If you are attempting to make some fitness goals and you have a long history of not being physically active, then you're going to have a lot to overcome in order to hit this fitness goal. But if you have a rich history of being physically active and being very engaged and dialed in with your fitness, and you just kind of slipped up a little bit, well, the forecast in the future looks a little bit brighter. It's really that simple. So I wanted to talk about that. But while I was on the call, shout out to a good friend of the team, Mr. Kevin Briggins. He was over there checking me out. So I'm going to bring him in real hot second. What is going on, Chief Reverend Deacon Dr. Briggins?
What's good, man?
Boy, this guy done got the whole microphone sound like a quiet storm going on over there. Let me go and get some quiet storm music up in here. Briggins over there. Okay, I got you. What's happening, sir? How are you doing on today? Happy Lord's Day.
I'm good, man. I just want to know, why are you always disappointed with your Morehouse people, man? You already know.
What? Okay. All right. This is it. Okay. I'm just gonna tell y'all because I was literally thinking about this. It takes a lot for me to cut you off. I mean, we don't. I believe that there are different levels of relationships. So we might have something in common, and that's very flighting. Maybe like we both like Marvel movies, or we're both Team Android, or whatever. Those things are very, very loosey goosey to me. So if Kevin is Team Android, and then you leave Team Android to go to Team iPhone, to me, that relationship could sever.
Yeah.
But there are other relationships, and this is me. I admit, because I have other people who tell me the exact same thing about Morehouse. There are people that were on that call that were texting while I was on the call watching it, talking about how they're saving money, they're sending money to Kamala Harris, that I would probably take a bullet for. I would probably, there's two cats that were texting while we were on the call. I would probably die for these guys. So our relationship goes far, far greater than just a surface area. So sadly, well, not sadly necessarily, my coming to become an adult was at Morehouse. All the things that you do as being an adult, getting almost evicted, almost getting your car, I didn't have it repossessed, but having problems with getting your car impounded, not paying bills, all that stuff I did at Morehouse with those same guys that were on the call talking about they're sending money to Kamala. So I'm disappointed, but I can't cut them off.
No.
And
I'm
so
not saying, I get it. I'm not saying cut them off. I mean, I got similar types of relationships, but I'm not surprised when they do things like this that I expect them to do, because that's what they do.
That is correct. Now I'm not surprised in that respect. I think I'm more disappointed because I'm like, y'all were the same ones that had a lot of heat for Biden coming back in May to speak at graduation. Y'all was very upset about that thing. Now you're okay with this. I don't understand that. I was very confused.
Yeah.
I was super confused with the heat that the smoke they was giving for Biden and the love and affection they was giving for Kamala. I was like, y'all doing the most. You doing the most. So
hey man, I ain't never seen so much black love for an Indian girl from Canada.
I'm trying to tell you, bro. They done already gave her black card. They've already given her compliment.
She washed her greens in the bathtub. She got to be black.
I mean, man, even my big mama didn't do that, bro. I have no idea where that came from. Like that's supposed to be like an urban legend. You ain't supposed to actually do that. Like that's not something you do.
Look, man, it's no different than Hillary Clinton bringing out hot sauce out her purse. It's the same thing, man.
And in my opinion, and again, I think I'm going to, because I recorded a lot of the live stream, I think I am going to go over it with my members of the channel. So if you're not a member of the channel, make sure you join. Because I do want to unpack some of the misconceptions and the weird thinking. Because again, the coming out the gate, they were already calling her my sister. I'm like, wait, my sister is from my mom and my dad. I don't understand. Kamala's not my sister. And she's not in the faith. As far as I know, and there's literally a poll strategist on there. He gives a slideshow about what we can do to help fix her image. And I actually screenshotted that one in real time. So I'm like, this is crazy. Yeah, there it is right there. It's crazy. I'm like, y'all wild. Like, we understand this woman's image is X, but we have to present it as Y. And this is what we need to do as Black men to support our sister. I'm like, she's not our sister. Let's just keep it on the very tertiary, non-spiritual level. She's not my sister. She's not in the faith, and she doesn't share my same phenotype. So she's not my sister. She can't be. Now, if she were a Christian, then she could be my sister in the Lord. And absolutely, I'll wrap my arms around her and tell her she needs to get off of some of these crazy platforms that she's in as a Democrat. But she's not that. And so, yeah, I'm trying not to, but I think I'm gonna be super petty tonight.
No. What you're doing is you're getting to something that we're going to talk about on an upcoming episode of Off Code. We're going to talk about, are Black people about principles, or are they about power? Right?
100% about power.
Yeah,
and it's about power. I hope y'all. I don't want to ruin it, You can tell me to stop, or you can say, Jason, you gotta come on the show now.
No.
It's about power because all they talk about is oppression. Remember during Joe Biden's keynote speech at graduation, I was very upset with the fact that he came out the gate talking about we were oppressed. And I'm like, these 410 men are not oppressed. Maybe their families, maybe, but these 410 are not oppressed. But it's a constant, steady drumbeat of we are the victims. And it's actually really gross. Again, I'm going to pull it up. Please, if you want to invite me to Off Code, I will gladly come on and talk about it. If not, it's okay. No shade, no shame.
No, we might have to do that for real because, I keep saying it's about we negate principle for power, because the principle would be, let's say if a white person was saying, hey, we gotta support our sister, and they were saying it on the basis of skin color, right? If white people are just saying, I'll use Stephen A. Smith as an example, right? There are things he's allowed to say. I'm supporting this brother because he's black, he's a brother, right? I'm supporting this coach, this player, right? If his white counterpart was on the show saying, look, I'm supporting this coach because we got to support I got to support my white brother, we got to support whites.
It won't work.
It won't work. We'd be like, that man is racist. But then we turn around and we do the same things. So it's the principle of it, or it's just about the power of it, right?
Facts.
And so, are we about principles or are we about power? So
this, and again, this show, I've scripted it in one direction. Chad sent me something that sent it in another direction. I'm finishing the Zoom call, and now I'm all in another completely different direction.
My bad.
No, it's okay. I appreciate it. Because I just want, because there's not a place where we are allowing, because I couldn't have jumped out there and said, hey, y'all, what about people that don't support Kamala? Bro, they would have been at my door, my guy. They'd have been at my crib. Yeah. So this was just one screenshot from the Zoom call that talked about her challenges, which I was going to talk about her challenges. So this is sort of kind of maybe on code, if you will. Look at number one, because there's one in here that's really like, it's going to cause you to stop and think. She will not inherit Biden coalition. She will have to build her own. So what does that mean? So she needs a consolidator base first: Black voters, young voters, and people of color, women voters. The fact that you keep hyper segmenting, because please keep in mind, not all people group are considered in this coalition. So you need white people to play along with this. You need Hispanic 100%. Men to believe this lie that you're telling. And boy, oh boy, I don't know how they're going to pull that wool over so many people's eyes. And again, is so telling. But let's go look at number two. A pervasive misinformation and disinformation has done damage to her credibility among the key audiences. And this is actually where I was going to go on this evening, was going to talk about what is her track record? What has she actually done? And I keep saying that, I'll say it again on the channel. Please tell me what she's done in the last 48 months that justifies you extending her a new contract and giving her a promotion. Because effectively, she's been the assistant coach on a losing team. So you've kicked the head coach off. You got rid of the head coach. And now we are in a horse race to see if the assistant coach can get a promotion and get an extension, even though the team is losing. Tell me, what has the assistant coach done? So you're about to say something. I'm sorry, brother.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is just me. This is how I view Kamala's career. Even how she came up, right? So Facts. she came up being the side chick of a very, very powerful politician in California, Willie Brown, Facts. Right? He was the mayor of San Francisco, very, very popular politician in the state. He placed her on boards and positions that she had no business being on at a very young age, right? Because he was sleeping with her. Mm-hmm. He then endorsed her for office and she won, right? And then she became the attorney general. From there, she became senator from the same state of California. All this is being pushed by the machine she was placed in based on who she was sleeping with, right? And she did one term as a U.S. senator, and then she tried to run for president in 2020, did horrible, didn't even make it to the first primary.
Nope.
And then dropped out the race, and then was hand selected to be the VP based on the fact of her skin color and her gender, right?
And
so
the fact she's from California.
Yeah, and so she's been in this seat that she really hasn't earned. And now look at her again. She's now being automatically placed in a no seat. She's moving up again for something she didn't. Nobody has voted this woman in here.
Nobody.
Right.
And Democrats should be upset about that.
Yeah, but here she is being hand selected and placed again. Right. That has been her path. She hasn't done anything. She hasn't accomplished anything. She has been placed based on people taking advantage of what she's putting out, or taking advantage of the categories of the boxes that she checked, right?
Facts. Absolutely. So, no, that's a great catch. And I just want to continue here. What we must redefine her before we allow them to layer her bio. And that was basically talk about her being like a human. So that's why I do think it's interesting that just on YouTube, it seems like almost organically, all these videos popping up about her going to Kwanzaa and her going to the record shop and talking about greens. And I call it pandering. And of course, dude, do a search. Do a search, Kamala Harris dancing. There's literal channels of her dancing.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
There's whole channels of clips of her dancing. It just seems really weird. But again, they're trying to not saying that she's not a human, because she has value because Christ made her. However, they want her to be seen as somebody that's just as relatable. Again, she goes to the record store just like you go to the record store. She cooks greens just like you get your greens out the bathtub, and so on and so forth. Like, wait, no, I don't. Anyway, so it seems like that's what they're trying to do. So again, layer her bio and correct her record on record. And I think this is funny because they were literally talking about all the things she's done in California. I'm like, well, what about the stuff she did in DC? Like, what about those things? Not the things in California. We'll let those be. Let's pretend like all those are right. Let's talk about what she did in DC, because nobody can tell me what she's done.
Yeah. Or the fact when she was a senator, she was labeled by record the most liberal and progressive senator in the Senate. So absolutely, that's who she is. Just listen to her talks. I mean, she's from California. She's a California progressive. If that's what you want in the White House, that's what you want for the rest of the country, then so be it. But don't try to rebrand her based on she could, wash her greens in the bathtub and she danced.
Bruh.
No,
bruh. And in my opinion, that tells me what they think about you as Black Democrat voters or those who will vote for Kamala. Hey, if we get her to get out here and dance with the AKAs, which, by the way, if you think about the fact that she's not really a Black woman, what would be a great way to Blackify her personality? Send her to Howard. What would be another great way to continue the Blackification of Kamala Harris? Let her become an AKA. Those are great ways to blackwash your persona, because we've all seen, I mean, there are white AKAs, there are white alphas. It's not only Black folk that do this. So I did think that was really interesting, especially when you layer the fact that the way Black people treat sororities and fraternities is night and day different from the way white people or less melanated people treat it. Less melanated people usually are done with their sorority and fraternity after about the first year after they graduate. Black people, you are fraternity, you are frat, you are soror for life. So all the way to the end, all the way to the end. And I just thought that was interesting. Okay. Crystallize her vision for the future of America. Where would we see that? Oh, we could look at what she's done as VP. That would be a great way to say, oh, maybe this is what you're going to do.
Yeah.
You see my point?
Yeah. I mean, she's had, her record is clear. I mean, she has said a lot. And now she may not have done a lot, but she said a lot. Her vision for America is very, at the end of the day, Marxist.
Oh, I got a whole clip of her talking about how she's going to spread out the equity. So it's not just equality, but it's equity. It's not just that you have Kevin and I both have the same opportunities, but that the same results. And the government is going to determine. And I got a clip of her just talking about it freely. I'm like, yo, that's not American.
No, she's a Marxist.
At all.
She's a
Absolutely.
progressive Marxist. That's it.
So real quick, number 3, Black folks do not underestimate America's proclivity to racism and sexism that can prevent her from winning. So the only reason she would lose is because America is racist and sexist. That's it. They don't like people that are brown, and they don't like women. I make this up not. I mean, that's what he said. Go
Look,
ahead.
man, it don't make sense. I've said the same thing. The same people who claim America is inherently racist and sexist are the very same people that are so sure that she can win. Which is it?
There you go. Like, how could she win? And then also, why are people beating down the door to get into a country that's so sexist and racist?
Yep.
I'm just wondering why is that?
This is one time I hope they're right. I hope America's is as racist and sexist. This is the one time I hope they're right.
I just think it's insane. But look at this one. Because there was one in here that I was like, y'all are wild. Grassroots will respond to the energy of grass tops, micro influencers, celebrities, trusted messengers. So again, this is about power. This is not about resolving issues.
No,
I'm listening to them. They collected maybe about 15 grand in the call. They weren't giving an update, but they were just shouting it out every now and then. So I think it's about 15 grand. Maybe it was more. I'm sure it's probably more by the time the smoke cleared. But you'll put 15 grand or however much toward seeing an Indian woman from Canada become the president rather than doing anything in your community. Because I don't see y'all doing a Zoom call for the vets in your community. This is the part where I'm like, yo, the energy is dysfunctional. Mm-hmm. But demonstrations of how our collective power have overcome these barriers, and we talk about Obama. They he's the second coming of false Jesus. And then lastly, megastar power. They were really enjoying themselves over megastar power that is supporting Kamala and such like that, as if they like to paint the underdog scenario, but in the same breath, like you're saying here, they like to position like they're underdog, but in the same breath, it's already locked in the bag. And it's just so wild how they did that.
Yeah, because this is the thing. Number one is actually a false statement. She is going to inherit Biden's coalition because the same people are propping her up. The same people that handpicked her to be on Joe Biden's VP are the same people that got Joe to step down and the same people putting her in that spot. She's propped up by the same machine. She ain't no different just because she's a woman of color. She's part of the same machine.
Same machine. The pervasive misinformation and disinformation. I'm sorry. What is the miss and dis? They didn't explain the miss and the dis. So, well, let me take it back. They love to talk about the locking up thousands of men in California. You know what? As I told you before, I honestly don't know. And my argumentation is not that, because the president doesn't lock up people anyway. So I'm not sitting there looking for you to be out, super cop. Okay. What I am looking for, however, is what have you done the last 48 months? That is, in my opinion, is way more telling than your role in California. Way more telling than what you've done in California or even as a senator for the 1 year. It is much more telling.
I will say this. It was very telling. This is one of the reasons she dropped out that race, because Tulsi Gabbard went into her debate. Yeah. And the point she made was a very, very valid point. She did lock a lot of people up on small marijuana charges, right? For lengthy prison sentences. And then had the nerve to go on the Breakfast Club and brag about how she smoked weed. That's just hypocritical.
But we'll ignore that. We will give her. I don't even understand. Like, why are we giving her grace on that, but we can't give it on anybody else? Nobody else gets that same kind of movement as Kamala is going to get.
Power over principles, man.
That's it. We're not principled. And again, when I do the video in response to this Zoom call with the Alumni Association, it was really telling, like, yo, why are we okay with a woman that literally one of her key achievements, her key platform planks, if the platform had 5 planks, this one is probably the largest plank, is on the continued deletion of little people. Why are we okay with that when Black people, brown people, murder more babies than anybody else? Why are we okay with somebody literally running on a platform that, hey, I want you to delete more of your Black babies? Just say that out loud. Like
The
that. That is crazy. And
because,
then
man,
to feel,
go ahead.
then to position ourselves as if we have some moral superiority over something else. Like, how is that? How is
Yeah,
that even a thing?
because we've bought into the propaganda that the Democrat Party has sold. Black people will constantly downplay abortion because they believe it's some type of right wing or Republican talking point, and they just simply shout out the whole thing about it's a woman's choice, it's a woman's body.
Choice.
You're oppressing women, right? And they're completely overlooking the fact that Black people are deleting themselves more than anybody, right?
And
And
that's
these people are
wild.
pushing it. Yeah, and it started out as a racist. And you want to talk about racism? Planned Parenthood started out with the purpose of keeping Black and brown people from reproducing.
Facts.
And it's worked. The Black community today is half of what it should be if it wasn't for Roe v. Wade and Planned Parenthood.
And I don't understand. Like, we can go, because we'll be quick to go back and talk about, somebody was talking about Emmett Till and somebody was talking about George Floyd and that's such like that. What about the little boys and little girls that won't be house, that won't be Spelmanites, that won't be alive, that are not alive because of this wicked, evil practice of Moloch worship to the God of convenience? And we literally are allowing somebody to play in our faces in 4K, to be excited, to be, dare I say, boasting about, yes, I am going to, if Congress gives me a bill, I'm going to sign it to be in the Constitution that you can continue to munch up your babies all the way up to 9 months. How are you okay with that? How are you proud of that statement? It makes it completely boggles the mind. I should not be surprised. I understand, but it never stops to amaze me that we would literally go on and make excuses for something that if Donald Trump said this, I guarantee you there would be smoke. If Trump said even a third of the things that Kamala Harris said about baby deletion, there would be smoke. But y'all okay with it?
Yeah. If they should just do reverse psychology and Trump should just be like, yeah, I love, what you call it? What's the term you use?
Moloch worship?
No, baby deletion.
Yeah.
I love baby deletion. Like Black, brown, baby deletion. Just
let him say that. Let him say
like,
that Black people delete your babies more. Let him say that more.
Yes.
Okay, let me get off of this. I got to get my blood pressure down. Look at the message: progressive issues through Black values. That sentence right there made no sense. Message progressive issues through Black values. Listen to this: Black values, spirituality, family, justice, masculinity, and resilience. He made a lot of hay about trying to reclaim patriotism and masculinity, which are two areas that the Dems have completely lost. That horse is out of the barn and it's gone. But they're literally trying to. So I think at the DNC, we're going to see them try to mimic how the RNC, American flags all over the place. They're going to try to some degree, shape, or form. It's going to be interesting. I can't wait to see what they try to do. But he also talked about masculinity. And I'm like, y'all are the team that don't even know what a man is, what a woman is. How does that even work? What is masculinity if you don't know what a woman is, what a man is? That was really weird. All masculinity is not toxic. I agree. I'm sorry. I don't believe that most masculinity is toxic. There's some jerks. Let's not waste our time with that discussion. Most masculinity is not toxic. If this one right here just took me away. If God grants us all freedom of choice, full stop right there, that's not true. Why should government grant women any less? What are you talking about?
I've heard that argument.
Really?
I've heard that argument.
This is my first time hearing. I'm sorry.
Yeah. They'll say, God doesn't make you follow him. God gives you I've heard pastors preach like a sermon on it, like Black pastors in churches. And so God doesn't force you to follow him. He gives you choice. God is the God of choice. Therefore, you should be pro-choice. Women should have the choice. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Complete lunacy.
I have to admit, I've not heard that argument like that.
Yep.
That was pretty bonehead. So anyway, that is let me get this out of here. That is just the highlights. This is the highlight reel of that. And Yeah, that was a very interesting
Yeah, that
Zoom
is.
call. I've never done one of those before. I'm glad I did.
Yeah, no, that's really interesting to see what they're thinking, how they're thinking. Um, yeah, but they do have a masculinity problem. They really do.
Oh, for sure.
And the minute it came out that she was likely going to be the person to step in for Joe Biden, Black Twitter already started going off on Black men. You know,
They
Black
did
men got
that
to get
too.
on board. You know,
No, I
um,
agree.
yeah, it's because a lot of us were raised in single mother households.
Facts.
And we have uplifted the Black woman to the position of sainthood, right?
Could you do me a favor real quick,
Yeah,
Kevin?
yeah,
Could you move yourself slightly over a little bit and keep talking? I need
yeah,
you to
yeah.
talk, and I need you to say that again, nice and clear, because I need a whole room. Matter of fact, I'm about to let you do a drum solo. I want you to say that again about Black women, a sainthood.
Yeah, we have in the Black community raised the Black woman up to a place of sainthood, to where um, we are now being pressured. Black men are being pressured, like Roland Martin, right? Had the T-shirt "Vote Like a Black Woman." Everything is feminized, and Black masculinity is demonized, right? They don't want strong Black men, because when strong Black men lead their family, you don't end up with where the community is. You don't end up voting like a Black woman. You vote like a Black man. You think about things differently, right? It's not about, I mean, it's basically just the feminization of the Black community, um, and the downplaying of masculinity, because Black women are masculine, right? It is the Black community has been taken over by feminism, literally feminism, right? Girl, go get your bag. Girl, do this. Girl,
Come on.
you don't need no man, right? It's all of that has created what we now have, right? And now
Yep,
at
yep.
some point, now Black men are going like, why am I going along with this, right? And
No,
so, but right or wrong, however you view it, Black men are more attracted to the persona and the bravado of somebody like Donald Trump. He is appealing to a lot of Black men because he says what he wants, he does what he wants, he doesn't care what other people say. You know, he stands on his principles, whether you agree with it or not. It's something masculine about that. And the more other people demonize it, the more a lot of men, not just Black men, are gravitating towards it, right? And so when we look at voting numbers and who votes for the Democrats, yes, it's across the board Black people, but it's overwhelmingly Black women, right?
mhm. Facts.
Um, and so yeah, and so that's why they want to use Black women as a tool to force Black men back into line, get back on the
Absolutely.
plantation, right? That's why the no voting, no
That was dumb.
bill
Yep.
last time,
Yep.
right? That was about Black women forcing Black men to vote their way, or they're going to cut off sex. Like, it's
Yep.
yeah, that's what
No,
we're dealing with.
and again, it's gonna get worse. It's gonna get so much worse. And the pandering, the basic looking down on men is going to get so vitriolic and so insane. But real quick, I wanted to say before we go too far, y'all thank Kevin in the chat for that. Man, thank you so much, Kevin.
Hey
Because that's
man,
exactly,
anytime.
y'all drop Kevin in the chat. Let's go and drop Kev in the chat and just let him know we appreciate that. That was dope. And please understand, sir, I'm gonna give you that. That's a great drum solo. I want you to take that thing and run with it because it was good word. I was gonna take it, I was gonna pass the offering plate, but we'll
Man,
start with
you gotta
putting
get
your
that
name in the
Hammond.
chat.
I need that Hammond when I'm going.
I love it. Actually, I think I could do that. All right. But no, you are on the money and I appreciate it. And real quick, before we get too far afield, because I do want to look at a video kind of montage of some of the things that Kamala Harris has actually done. Real quick, I'm going to shout out. Thank you so much to Cull Obsidian for the $10 super chat. What does he say? For the great work you're doing on these topics. Oh, so you can buy yourself some real greens because Kamala washes hers in the tub. Nasty. That's
Hey,
nasty work.
hey, I didn't want to say it, but I mean that really will lose you points in the Black community, not gain
Right.
you
I'm like,
credibility.
I've heard it as a joke.
That's how you know she ain't Black.
Right. That I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, no Black person. I'm going out here. No Black person. I don't care how country you might be. no black person washes their greens in the tub.
Hey, who made those greens?
Right. No,
Stay away
I'm
from
good.
them.
I'm good. Nobody does that. And I'm sorry. The fact that she bought into that, in my opinion, tells you that she really doesn't know what she's talking about. I mean, I've heard all kinds.
Indian woman raised in Canada.
Right.
Outside of going to the HBCU, she has no ties to the black community.
None whatsoever. None whatsoever. All right, let's keep this going. Thank you so much, Call Up City. I'll let you you're the stream sponsor. I need to make sure I put that in there. What is Court Holic said? I got saved today in Miss Mandy's prayer stream today. Well, praise God. Thank you. And guess what? Miss Mandy, there we go again. Thank you both of y'all for the $2 super chats. Y'all are very, very kind. Thank you for the support of this channel and what we're doing over here. I appreciate all of you all. I'm gonna make Cull Obsidian the stream sponsor with the $10 super chat in a minute. Nobody washes their greens in the tub. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you, it does not happen. It is an urban legend. It's a joke. It's just like somebody would say that they wash them in a wash machine. That is a joke. You don't. It's a joke. It's a joke. I remember my mom saying, I wish I could wash these in the washing machine.
Hey.
But it was a joke. Like, nobody even batted an eye. Go ahead.
They talking about like misinformation, disinformation. I'm going to start some online. I'm like, Kamala Harris let her dog lick her in the mouth.
Don't do that, please. Because you might.
I'm pretty sure she does.
Yo, yeah, that was just, nobody does that. Nobody. It is a joke. You wash them in the sink. Now, you might wash several loads. Yeah, there go Donna right there. Donna know how to make green. I bet you Donna can come to the cookout and them greens gonna be fire. You know why? Because she said you wash them 50 times. Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, nobody does this. I'm just like, nobody does this, man. The fact that you can, Donna said, look, Donna said I can cook. Hey, Donna, I'm with you. Look, Donna, holla at your boy. Holla at us. Thanksgiving around the corner. Let's make it happen. But
look, the next video Kamala puts out, she's gonna have a bowl of chitlins and some hot sauce. She gonna be pandering.
It's Panderpalooza. It's Panderpalooza, the blackification of Kamala Harris. That's gonna be the name of the next video. The blackification of Kamala. No, I'm guaranteed. Now, you know good and well she be putting some masala in her potato salad. Not even raisins. We talking about masala. Get her out of here. No, get it. Yo, come on, man. And Donna they killing her tonight. Look, I'm trying to get to the next part of the show. Y'all murdering it. Don't do it.
No, she don't make. She can't make sweet potato pie. She make pumpkin pie.
She make pumpkin. You know it. Wait. Okay.
She don't make dressing for Thanksgiving. She makes stuffing.
Okay. Yet to hear Plan for America. All I hear about is beating Trump. Yes, man. I'm 100%. Sorry. I didn't actually read Mandy's comment. Please forgive me, y'all. Y'all extend grace to your boy. Extend grace to me. I'm sorry, Miss Mandy. Please forgive me. You are right. That's all I hear. You are correct 100%. Is beat Trump, beat Trump, beat Trump. Okay, now that you beat him, what you gonna do?
Well, this is the thing, because even Biden had the same problem, right? Their record right now is so bad they can't run on their own record, so they just have to run against. Hey, be fearful of this. This person's gonna do this. They're just running a negative campaign because they can't boast about what they're going to do or what they've done. So, like the border, right?
Yeah, boast on that thing.
Yeah,
yeah, boast on that. Hold on. No, I agree 100%. Let's go ahead and add this to the stream. And now we are ready to roll. Let's get, all right. I got a little video for us. You ready for a little video montage?
Yeah. Let's do it.
You probably know where this is
I hope my favorite quote is in there about not being what's that quote she loved to say?
Oh, not being tethered, not
unhindered by what has been.
Unhindered by what has been. There you go. This rascal right here. Y'all, real quick. I need the moderators to put Texan in time out right now. I'm taking my hat off. Until y'all put Texan in 0 second timeout, I am done with this stream. This stream is over. Texan is in timeout. What did Texan just say? He says Kamala don't even make stuffing. I'm sure it's couscous. Y'all put him in zero. Put Texan in 0-second timeout right now. Right now. She is crazy. Wow. Y'all are out of control. Y'all are out of control. There is control, like Janet said, and then y'all are out of control. Move over, Texan, because now we got to put Courtaholic in timeout too. Look at this. Dear woke Christian, she adds curry to her potato salad. What's wrong with y'all? What's wrong with y'all people? Oh, man. You know what? Just put the whole thing. Yo. Okay, I will say this, though. I love some butter chicken. Butter chicken be fired. I ain't gonna lie.
But have you seen her family photo when she was like a young?
You know her mom. You know her mom made some mean butter chicken.
Yeah, I mean, but it's a straight Indian family,
right?
I mean, she's got the dye and hair.
The whole gambit.
You weren't
wearing a sari.
Black.
Don't try to trick, baby. The only time you wore jeans is when you pledged, AKA. Stop it. Stop lying. Just stop lying. Yeah, but you know she probably makes some mean butter chicken though. Why are y'all people like this? Oh my gosh.
Unburdened by the butt. Yep.
Unburdened by the curry that's in the potato salad. Oh my gosh. Y'all stop. Why are y'all like this? This live chat is out of control. Y'all need to, I'm about to say all of y'all need to be put in timeout. Oh my gosh. Did Texan get out of timeout? Okay. All right. I guess we'll let him go. Oh my gosh. All right. We are not, you know what would be ignorant? If somebody made a Thanksgiving menu at the Harris house, from the Harris house, that would be a fire meme. That would be a meme of, and you know, yeah, I think that would be hilarious. I just want to put it out there and see what happens. I'll float it out there and see what happens. All right, here we go. All right, let's get to some, let's get our lives together. Okay, let's go.
San Francisco, whose name is Kamala Harris. She's brilliant, she's smart, she doesn't look anything like anybody you ever see on Law and Order, yet she's tough and she's got a big future. They call her the female Barack Obama.
Just the female Barack. Okay, so this is from 2008. Can y'all hear it okay? Kev?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Okay, perfect. Okay, I'm assuming everybody else can, so let's keep it going. Let's roll.
But if you don't have to dig very deep to find out, there are a whole lot of people just like him.
I grew up as a child of two parents who met when they were graduate students at Berkeley and were actively involved in the civil rights movement. They were marching all the time, and I was marching too.
Harris was a California co-chair for Senator Barack Obama's 2008 presidential bid. She campaigned for him in several states.
One of the issues that I believe will be addressed by Barack Obama is reviving the Civil Rights Division of the Justice Department. When we look at the situation that we are facing in our country, there are a lot of folks that need our help. And they need our help because we know that the only way true change occurs is when we mobilize from the ground up. But it is going to require us as soldiers in the field to help the president push this reform forward, because that change will happen not just in changing the face of the White House, but changing the face of our country when it comes to our poor, when it comes to those who need access to education, when it comes to those who need to have a country who sees the most vulnerable among us. There is a lot of good work in the history of this country that has happened through the Civil Rights Division of the Department of Justice and needs to continue to happen. There are still challenges on every level around issues such as hate crime, environmental justice, and other crimes that frankly need a priority from the Department of Justice to be addressed. Heroes for me growing up were the architects of the Civil Rights Movement. They were the lawyers, and they used the tool of the law to remind the world through the United States Supreme Court of what justice really looks like. So I decided I wanted to be a lawyer, and I wanted to be a prosecutor. You can imagine going to my family and extended family and having that discussion was quite an experience.
Harris, the daughter of civil rights activists, credits her parents with teaching.
All right, look at her family and tell me that this woman taught her how to cook greens. Tell me that she taught her how to cook greens.
By example.
They were marching and...
All right, look at her mom. I wish I could zoom this in a little bit. Look at her mom, and you tell me that that woman taught her how to cook greens. Okay. Now look at that woman and tell me that they practice Kwanzaa. They celebrated Kwanzaa.
No.
Okay. All right. Okay. So you're not buying it?
No.
You're not buying it?
I'm not buying it. I mean, everything she does has been propped up and fake, and it's an image. That's why they're talking about it's just an image that she's made of herself that has pushed her up this ladder. So she's done it well. But no, I don't
for
buy
sure.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, this is wild. Okay, keep going.
Shouting about this thing we call justice.
I wanted to be able to have the power of the prosecutor to be the voice about what justice should look like and what justice would look like if it were to be relevant to certain communities.
Missing school may not only affect your child's education, it can also be a crime in the city of San Francisco.
Public education is the difference between having a life that is successful or a life behind bars. There's a direct connection between education and crime.
So then obviously chronic truancy.
The most that we want is that this child just goes to school.
So what are you doing?
So we started a mediation process, and it's been fantastic because when the principal would otherwise call the parent and say, you know, Miss Smith, Johnny's not in class, would you return my call? Call went unanswered. Now principal calls and says, Miss Smith, you know, Johnny's not in class, and by the way, that DA Kamala Harris said she might prosecute you and send you to jail, and the call gets returned.
Yeah.
Okay, real quick. Okay. Y'all know that, I'm sorry, I'm a former classroom teacher. That is the dumbest thing on the planet. And hear me, I taught in the city of Atlanta. Definitely there's a lot of there's a disconnect between parents and the school and so on and like that. But the idea that you're going to arrest a parent, just think about it. Watch. Just think about it. The likelihood of a child that she's referring to is probably a low middle class or poor family. Is that fair, Kevin?
Yeah, it's going to be a low income family. Absolutely.
Gotcha. Okay. So we're not talking about affluent. We're not talking about Scott and Bunny that are taking their kids to Aspen in the middle of the school year. We're not talking about that. We're talking about people that are more than likely lower income. Do you think them prosecuting Shaniqua, who has 3 kids and works as a bartender and strips on the weekend, do you think prosecuting her is going to help that family or is going to hurt that family? I'm sorry. This is my first time hearing that part. And that's epically, if that's what you're standing on, y'all dumb.
It shows her disconnect from the real issues on the ground because she grew up affluent. And in Canada, this woman has no attachment. She could talk about the poor all she wants. She don't know a poor person. She's never probably met a poor person, right? She's just so disconnected from like what people actually go through in the inner city. You know, when a parent, I mean, yeah, a lot of these kids, man, they're coming from dysfunctional homes. Arresting the mom again for this isn't going to do anything.
You already arrested the dad. That's probably why the dad ain't there.
Yeah. Or I mean, the mom probably has a record. Like, it's just a dysfunctional household.
And yes, and trust me, I can tell you emphatically, introducing the police to a dysfunctional family is a recipe. Just like washing your greens in the bathtub for disaster. Okay. Just like masala in the potato salad for disaster. That is not a good look. But she just said that. I can't believe that. And y'all running on this record? Y'all really truly don't want to run on this record.
So literally prosecution means like what? It's a felony misdemeanor. You could go to jail, fines?
Would likely result in that parent being sent to jail.
Wow.
And that's just, I did not expect to, I have to admit, y'all, did I tell y'all this? This video came live and direct from Chad Jackson, a very good supporter of this channel. He sent this to me. He said, hey, you can use this tonight. So shout out to Chad Jackson, a fantastic supporter of the channel. I didn't watch this before I did it. I should have, because now my blood pressure is gone out of control and I might be passed out on the floor. I just heard Lady Dear Woe Christian pull her car in the garage. So I might be passed out on the floor in a second. If you see me dip out like this, you know, call my wife, tell her Jason's dead on the floor. Go ahead.
Hey, no, shout out to Chad, because you hit Chad up in the text message like, hey,
I
Chad,
did.
I need one of them montages. And he came through.
He dialed it up for me, man. Hey, shout out to Chad. Chad Jackson is my guy. But yo, I've never heard. Now, we've heard of fining parents. Now, I will say I've heard of fining parents, charging them because their kids don't come to school, so on and so forth. But putting them in jail?
But once again, that's still a poor tax. It's the poor,
No, it is. That's fair.
dysfunctional
That's fair.
families that aren't going to be sending their kids to school on a regular basis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You think we're going to make it?
Let's go, man.
All right.
I've watched people get taken off the job sites and replaced by people from Guatemala. I mean, it's outrageous. It's just irritating, and we need to do something about it.
These are people who've broken our laws to come here. According to the Constitution, they would be considered enemy invaders.
Immigrant rights advocates say the Minutemen are breeding intolerance and hate. Claudia Rivera spent her Saturday at this immigrant resource fair in San Francisco, sponsored by District Attorney Kamala Harris.
Your immigrant status, whatever it is, does not, in our mind's eye, designate you as a criminal.
Harris wants immigrants to know that San Francisco police and prosecutors will protect illegal immigrants. Claudia Rivera says she came here illegally 3 years ago and needs a good job, medical services, and yes, citizenship.
Patriotism. It's a word that gets thrown around. And in my opinion, there are two definitions of patriotism. And what is a patriot? The first is that person who defends their country whatever it does. The second is the kind of patriot I am, and I believe you are. And that's the kind of patriot who believes in the promise of our country. It is the person who believes that we are and can be a real democracy in a place that is all about equality and treating all men and women equal, regardless of their race, gender, sexual orientation, or ethnic background. And at the end of my 8 years, I promise you, everyone will be wearing an American flag on their lapel.
When people question your...
I just wonder, do you notice that she talks about democracy? And of course, this is not a democracy, it's a constitutional republic. But does she also allow for persons that she put in jail that have felonies to be able to vote and to own a gun? Just wondering, because if that be the case, then you are changing you are saying that they can't be full citizens and they can't enjoy all the rights and privileges of being a U.S. citizen, but somebody who comes in the country illegally can.
Yeah, and just think about this. She's talking in 2010, and she sounds like she's talking in 1960.
Right, very much so. But I think that's also part and parcel because they are trapped in an infinite loop of oppression, struggle, fight. And again, when I do that video from the Alumni Association, you hear people talking about the struggle. We got to keep up the struggle, got to keep fighting for the struggle. Like, what struggle are you going through? Like
the one in your mind.
Right. Like sure, there's some ups and downs. Nobody's saying that life is a cakewalk. That's not what is being said. What it's saying is, what is the struggle that you are making it akin to the civil rights movement? What is the struggle that you're referring to? That is crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I said it on here before, but I've said it on our podcast before. You just have to understand that the idea and the concept of blackness is rooted in oppression. So to be black is to be oppressed, right? And so that's why, like me and you, if you say like, I'm not oppressed and you don't buy into that narrative, they'll say, oh, you're not black, right? Because it's not ain't got nothing to do with your skin color. It is the fact that do you identify as oppressed and are you part of the struggle, right? And so, yeah, there's a continuous struggle. Otherwise, they ain't black, like Joe said.
No, and I think that's a great point because it does help understand like what is their idea, what is their thought process that you say somebody's not black because they don't subscribe to the same ideological framework that you do. And I do agree with that. That's a good catch. Good catch. Let's see if we can make it through, my friend.
Blackness, you were on that bus, you were part of the civil rights movement, but the struggle is convincing people that this is a strong black woman who lived strong black life. And
okay, I gotta stop. Do you know what's funny about this clip?
The person who's talking.
See, me and Kevin are joined at the mind, bro. Like I don't believe in telepathy, but Kev, man, you are right there. Okay, all right then, Kev. Who is it? Who's talking?
It's Uncle Luke, man.
It's
and
Uncle Luke.
If he had it his way, she'd be half naked dancing.
Well, now we're in 2024. She could be whole. I mean, good gracious. If you're not familiar who this is Luke Campbell, Uncle Luke from 2 Live Crew. This is the rap group that really, is it fair to say they catapulted, hot railed, the thoughonomics that we see in today. They were they planted the seeds back. What was that? 1988, 90. I know it was before I graduated high school.
Yeah. Late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, so that's them. So for her to be sitting there, and he calls her a black woman. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
And she just head nodding, yep, knowing that she just had some curry this afternoon, knowing she was wearing a sari. Let me stop. Oh,
why is there any question?
You're right. It's frustrating.
Have you ever smoked?
I have.
Okay. Like
I inhaled. I did inhale. It was a long time ago. Listen, I think that it gives a lot of people joy, and we need more joy.
What do you see as the biggest national security challenge confronting the U.S.? What is the thing that worries you and keeps you up at night?
Frankly, one of them is our democracy. And that I could talk about because that's not classified. It really does. The threats to our nation take many forms, including the threat of autocracies taking over and having outsized influence around the world.
I think it's very important, as you have heard from so many incredible leaders, for us at every moment in time, and certainly this one, to see the moment in time in which we exist and are present, and to be able to contextualize it, to understand.
Okay, real quick, y'all. Okay, Kevin's not ready for this. Y'all are not ready for this. In the chat, if you could please just take a second, type what type of salad dressing would you put on these word salads? Okay, so what is your favorite? What is your favorite salad dressing? I can't even spell mine. So there you go. I'm gonna just drop this. What salad dressing are you putting on this word salad? Just go ahead and put it in there real quick. Let's see what we got. We got that good. What you putting on it, Kevin? I'm gonna put it in the chat, my friend. Put it in the chat.
I got you.
Oh, Thousand Island. I was not a Thousand Island fan until I learned that they put it on a particular sandwich I used to like. Oh, Greek. Okay. Curry. Shots fired. I see what you did there. Catalina. Wait, now y'all got the thing going too fast. I can't even click them. Look at that. Catalina. Yeah, Chad made this. Yes. Chad made this. Oh, fam. Blue cheese. I gotta say, I like blue cheese dressing. Give me some wings. Let's sign me up for that. Creamy Italian. Really? Okay. The only dressing there is, only dress I like, I'm sorry, is blue cheese. I got you. Italian. There you go. I couldn't spell Italian. My eyes were going crazy. All right. Oil and vinegar. Oh, you're just going basic now. You're just going oil and vinegar.
Let's go basic.
Okay. Just basic. And put some curry on top of that. What you got?
Hey, I love, like I said, I love Mediterranean, right? So oil and vinegar.
Okay, I got you.
Italian. Yeah.
Whoa, ranch and Italian together? Interesting. Gumbo for Kamala. Okay, we're gonna finish this up. We're gonna try to get to it. I appreciate it. These are some great salad dressing because y'all gonna need it. Y'all gonna need it because I got this bad feeling as this election. We got 100 days. So there's 100 days of salad dressing. So just make sure you get your salad. I'm actually investing in salad dressing companies. So because the stock is going to go insane because she's going to push it. Let's get this thing going. Let's go.
Understand where we exist in the history and in the moment as it relates not only to the past but the future. Dr. King, when he was assassinated, was on the verge of the next phase in civil rights. He was combining that fight for civil rights and justice with the fight for economic justice. We must continue the fight for economic justice as part of our fight for civil rights. We got to keep our eye on our affirmative agenda while we are handling all those attacks. Because we will not fully, I believe, achieve the dream of freedom until it includes economic justice for all.
Yes, we do talk about equity. We actually believe it is
I
a
have
good
this clip.
principle, in spite what some so-called leaders might try to suggest. We are proud of the fact that equity is one of our guiding principles. We understand equality is important, but not everybody starts out on the same base. We must be clear-eyed about the fact that, yes, we want everyone to get an equal amount. That sounds right. But not everyone starts out from the same place. Some people start out on first base, some people start out on third base. And if the goal is truly about equality, it has to be about a goal of saying everybody should end up in the same place. And since we didn't start in the same place, some folks might need more. Equitable distribution. Okay, guys, you know what? America does not want to witness a food fight. They want to know how we're going to put food on their table.
I wrote an article about.
Okay, I'm going to stop for a second. Kev, do you agree that the idea and the notion that we can determine the outcome? Well, I believe that trying to determine the outcome of a result is borderline blasphemous, because it's almost, I say that we're creating, we're setting ourselves in a position of God, who ultimately determines outcomes. So by trying to forecast and change outcomes, we're putting ourselves in a position of God. Am I going too far?
No. That's why she's a Marxist.
No, there you go.
She is when you start talking about making outcomes equal, the only way you can do that through the force of government, right? That's the only way you can do that. And when you do it, it's a system for it. It's communism, right? And so, yes, she is a Marxist in her belief, because they've come up with this word called equity to try to make it sound better, right? They've redefined, they redefine equity as this equal outcome. And so, and when you talk about DEI, right? Diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Inclusion, right.
Yeah, it's Marxist, right? It is looking at the outcomes. It is doing the Ibram X. Kendi, right? What does Ibram X. Kendi do with racism, right? He looks at disparities in outcomes, and if there's a disparity in outcomes between groups, he therefore says, oh, well, then there's discrimination and racism here. We must be anti-racist to eliminate the disparities and make the group outcomes equal, right?
Facts. Yes.
That is just Marxism. That's all that is, right? It is not saying equity is not equal opportunity. That's not what it is. Equal opportunity is saying, look, we treat everybody the same. We treat everybody fairly, right? Nobody is above the law. Those types of things, that's equality. But where you end up is going to depend on a lot of factors. Number one, God, fate, luck, however you wanted to, we don't all just, things don't happen for everybody the same way. God's hand does not move upon everyone the same way. And then we all don't have the same gifts and abilities. We just don't, right? And so trying to, and no, don't even get me on my other one of culture, right? That is the biggest thing. If you're going to be for multiculturalism, you can't be for equity, for equal outcomes.
Facts.
Because multiple cultures are going to produce multiple different results, because culture is the values and beliefs and practices of a group, right? And so if you're going to have different cultures, you're going to end up with different outcomes amongst these cultures. And so simply looking at outcomes and determining, because there's disparity in outcomes in these groups, that there must be racism and discrimination or injustice, is just a flat out lie. It's just wrong. It's a false assumption, right? And so, and we can see this from let's just be real. Let's compare Black culture to Asian culture, right? Yep. Completely different cultures that produce very different results. And so the results of that are Asians achieve at a very, very high level. They value education, and not just education. They value education in STEM fields, right? Science, engineering, medical, right? Yep. They're not very big in athletics. And there's that, and they highly believe in marriage, right? Family structure. In the Black community, we don't get married. We got a 30% marriage rate. We don't put a high value on education. And when we do, we go into things like social work, things that don't pay a lot of money, right? Psychology. And what you gonna do with a bachelor's degree in psychology? Nothing. Right? And then we pay a lot of money to go to HBCUs and go into debt.
Hey,
for
wait.
degrees that don't pay nothing because we
Hey,
ain't thought
man.
out.
Hey. Watch out now.
I shouldn't even say HBCUs because it is HBCUs, but it's more so we pay a lot of money to go to private schools, right? Because you have public HBCUs, right? But no, we'll pay a lot of money to go to a private HBCU that is, a lot of money a year, and we come out with a degree in social work, right? And so, just that's a cultural thing, and we spend a lot of time, putting our kids in sports and thinking they're gonna make it to the NBA and the NFL, and the outcomes just aren't gonna be the same. They just aren't. So, and I was gonna say this because you're going to the debate part. That clip, that is why she's very good at that. I'm gonna give her props. She can do that in a debate where she can take these quick pop shots and come up with these quick whippy lines and do well in a debate. She won't say anything of substance, but she's very good at performing.
The problem is if they, please, I believe that Trump wants to debate her. I want to debate her. I'll debate her tomorrow.
I wouldn't do it,
She's going to be here in Atlanta on Tuesday. I'll debate her.
Go ahead.
The problem is the way they've set up the stage in the previous debate actually works against this because she can't talk over. She's going to have her mic muted. So I think that's some of those quips are not going to work as well because they almost have to be organic, and you have to have a hot mic to make them work. That's my assessment.
True.
However, if it's just I gotta wait, unmute my mic for me to say something, I think that's not going to work well. But I digress.
Yeah, you just can't. I just don't think you can win fighting a girl, right? Because if he's too harsh, then it's like, oh, he's mean. And I even had a good friend of mine talk about, man, we ain't gonna take that from no sister. If he come talking to a sister like that, I'm like, she's running for president. She gonna have to get the same smoke everybody else get. Well, you can't get in your feelings because she's a black woman. That's what I mean.
Allegedly.
Like it ain't no winning debating this woman. It's just not.
And please understand, Putin just said today, like there's nothing that's stopping him from moving further aggression into Ukraine. Do you really think this woman's going to be able to stop him? Do you think she's going to have a path to victory to stop him? And then let me ask another question. Where's Joe? I thought Joe was supposed to be doing his job. Anyway, I'm sorry. I just thought Joe was supposed to be doing his job to the end of his term. My bad. Clearly, I misunderstood that. Let's go.
I just outlined everything that everybody was saying about you. Whether she's black enough, does she like black men? She's putting black people in jail. But at the same time, I write that. And I didn't have a conversation with you. When we had the conversation and we talked about it, we talked about fried chicken and talking about all these different things. And then we talked about the gun and the FICA score and these different.
So in order to win the black vote, did Uncle Luke just say you got to be able to talk about fried chicken, gun, and FICA scores?
Fried chicken.
Now let Trump say that. Let Trump say that. Let JD Vance talk about he keeps hot sauce in his glove box of his truck. Y'all, they playing y'all. They're making fun of you. Is that fair? Is that a lap too far?
No, I want Trump to be. I just want him to try to appeal to the black vote by offering a Popeyes on every corner.
Right, like vote for me, and I will put churches out of business and let Popeyes reign supreme. Matter of fact, here you go. Here, this is what he does. Vote for me, and I will fix your order at Popeyes. It will be right the first time. Now, you're still gonna wait for 20 minutes, but at least the order will be right when you pull off.
Got my vote.
I'm sorry, y'all. That's playing in your face. They playing in your face, and y'all are sitting there taking that. Now, again, I just want to know, what is it that she has done that you esteem to some degree that you would say, yo, this is the person I need to vote for? Because Luke is over here just lying to you, telling she's a black woman, and y'all know she's not. You know she's not. You know good and well she's not. y'all know it. You can look at her, you can tell she's not black. Oh my gosh. But that's not even, I don't even care. I really don't. I just think it's funny that y'all make such a big deal out of it. You know, this is our sister. No, it's not my sister. Not my sister.
Or the fact that she has the same name as Miss Marvel from the Marvel from the Marvel show, Kamala. That's her name. Like, and it's a character of inclusion and representation, right?
Gotcha.
You know,
right.
she's supposed to be, you know, Middle Eastern or whatever. I'm like, this woman's name is Kamala. Like, she's not black. Her name ain't Keisha. Her name ain't Latoya, right? This woman is not from the black community. She's just not.
But I think again, I think you made a great point, and I hope it didn't get lost. She doesn't have any ties to the community that she's representing. Can you imagine if I was sitting here regaling that I was a white man and I was going to represent white people as their representative, and y'all are looking like bruh, you got a little bit extra melanin there. You got a little extra dose of melanin. But I'm sitting there literally head nodding and yep. I'm gonna say something funny, y'all. Don't get offended. Yep. I don't season my chicken either. Yep, you're right. Raisins in my potato salad. Sure do. Cranberries too. Yep, sure enough. Yep, absolutely. I said that. Like, y'all would be like losing your minds. Like, this guy doesn't represent me. How in the world are you?
And this thing, I want to make it very clear. I don't care that she doesn't come from the black community.
I don't.
What I care is that they're trying to sell her on as if she does, because majority of the black community cares. Right.
That is correct.
Which is
Let me
sad.
get you zoom in. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, and it's just sad because we're talking about this and we're like trying to discredit her blackness because she's not really black. She's not from the black culture, but from who we're going to vote for, that doesn't matter, and it shouldn't matter. But the problem is that it does matter to a large percentage of the black community.
Oh, I agree.
You know?
I agree. And you were probably wondering why that video looked so weird. When I was downloading it, I downloaded it as
On Soul is truly about a
I downloaded
everybody
it in the wrong format. I downloaded it as a short, so it was in that short format. Now we can actually see a little bit bigger. So I apologize for that. I've been trying to like sneakily refix it while we've been talking. So
let's go ahead. Let's push.
All right, let's let them finish up. Let's go. Uncle Luke, whatever.
And about you, whether she's black enough, does she like black men? She's putting black people in jail. But at the same time, I write that. And I didn't have a conversation with you. When we had the conversation and we talked about it, we talked about fried chicken and talking about all these different things. And then we talked about the gun and the FICA score and these different, so it was okay.
That's right.
It's like, I like this lady.
This morning, President Barack Obama officially endorsing Vice President Kamala Harris for president, in addition to a statement that suggests he and Michelle Obama will do, quote, everything we can to elect Kamala Harris the next
The Kamala Harris candidacy is energizing Democrats across the country by just about any metric. Donations, volunteers, memes, they've all exploded on the scene. Hours after President Biden bowed out of the race and endorsed his VP on Sunday, more than 40,000 people joined a Zoom call for black women supporters, and they raised more than $1.5 million. Another Zoom call for black men.
Do you think they could do a white women for Trump Zoom call?
No. There is a Karens for Kamala thing going around though.
See, that's what I'm talking about. But see, why? Because she's black. Like, they couldn't do that Karens for
for Trump.
For Trump. They couldn't do that.
Because that'd be a racist white supremacist group.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, let's get this done. Let's go.
Drew more than 50,000 supporters the next day.
Brothers, y'all are doing this thing already. When we mobilize, we win. There's just no stopping it.
We make the assumption that women are going to be more excited, and we never think about the men.
We support women in every endeavor, and competent women deserve our support.
Polls consistently show Biden's decline in popularity among black voters. Went with Black Men says with Harris in, it's a new race.
It's important for black men to show we have Kamala Harris's back.
On Thursday, more than 160,000 Harris supporters joined one single Zoom call. That call was rallying white women for Harris. Participants in the call included the actress Connie Britton, pop star Pink, and the soccer star Megan Rapinoe.
This is our opportunity to show up not only for ourselves, but for black women. They've given us the whole playbook on how to show up and energize and be organized and tap into all of our networks. So let's just follow their lead.
They are thrilled. They are organizing with the kind of energy that reminds you of the early Obama years. People are feeling such joy, such power, such excitement that the Harris campaign has unleashed.
Vice President Harris is primed to bring her energy to this campaign and hopefully, if she's on the ticket winning the election, like it's a big deal.
I think she is the closest thing to building on and expanding that Obama continuum, that coalition continuum, as we've had since Obama stepped off the stage.
I have what I call a 3 a.m. agenda that is about everything from what we need to do to deliver health care to how you will be able to pay the bills by the end of the month. And when I think about what our country needs, I promise you, I will be a president who leads with a sense of dignity, giving the American family all that they need to get through the end of the month in a way that allows them to prosper.
Thanks, Chad. I appreciate you, man. All right, so shout out to Chad Jackson. Just want to make sure I left it right there. Shout out to Chad Jackson for that fantastic montage. He's a montage beast, and I really appreciate him for doing that for us. What do you think? What do you think, Kevin? You muted.
Yeah. I think we kind of really, it really showed kind of who she is, right?
For sure.
And like I said, I would not debate her. She's a prosecutor. She knows. Really? I wouldn't do it, man. It's just
really okay. I'll take your word.
Because she's gonna come off because she can be the attack dog and come off looking really, really good. If Trump is the attack dog, he's a bully. It's just no winning in that situation, right?
Okay. I understand your point.
Yeah, because this is the thing, and this is the thing. This is where conservatives mess up. Are you familiar with the metaphor of the rider and the elephant? So the rider and the elephant is a metaphor for how humans behave and what drives human behavior. The rider is your reason and your logic, right? And the are your emotions. We like to think the rider is in charge, but we all know that elephant is in charge. That guy sitting on that elephant ain't leading that elephant. That elephant is the one that's going where he's choosing to go, right? As Christians, as conservatives, what you want to label us, we tend to reach out to the rider a lot. We want to appeal to reason and logic and facts. And we're like, man, he made a great point. He won that argument. That ain't what wins these arguments and debates. It is appealing to the elephant, right? And the left and people like her have known that for a long time. And they're very good at appealing to the emotions of people, right? And so it doesn't matter how well you articulate and win an argument. They're going to win the debate because they're going to win the emotions of it, right? That's why it just does no good to debate her, because even if the facts are on your side, even if the record is on your side, you're not going to win it in the court of public opinion because everybody is led by their emotions, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
wow. All right. You know what? All right, because I'm usually the guy that's like, I'm all about. I will have a logical debate with you, and y'all know I'll do that here on this channel. So
that's our strength, but that ain't what win. That's not what win.
Okay. You might have won me over. You might have won me over. But you know who else won me over? That's Jean Lee. Jean Lee dropping 5 memberships off. Y'all thank Jean Lee in the chat. She just gave 5 people membership to Dear Woke Christian for the next 30 days. So thank y'all. So if you did get a membership, just go ahead and type Jean Lee in the chat. Let her know that we appreciate her. Thank you so much, Jean, for blessing 5 memberships. Thank y'all so much for your support. And you know who else? That's Miss Mandy, because Miss Mandy said, yeah, I'm going to take my voting advice from 2 Live Crew. Absolutely. Absolutely. What's wrong with that? You don't trust Uncle Luke? He talked about chicken and guns and FICO scores. I mean, you don't trust Luke? Gracious, man. They playing in your face, y'all. They playing in your face, right in your face.
Hey, not to switch the topic, but on the fact that we're on 2 Live Crew.
Okay,
did you hear when Luke was talking about puffy parties? And he was like, man, I can't stay past midnight. I have to leave. You know how bad your party got to be when Luke Campbell say it's too bad he got to leave? He can't stay?
Never heard that.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's bad. Yeah, that's
if you're
not
I'm
familiar.
going to start a rumor. Kamala was at puffy parties.
It might not actually be a rumor. That's the problem. That might have been why they raided Puff's deal to check for evidence on that fact. You know, if you're not familiar, like Puff Daddy was known to have like pretty wild parties, and after like 11 o'clock is the rumor and the rumor mill. After 11 o'clock, everything went south, like went way south. So people are always like, you leave a Puffy party well before that time. So man, that's crazy. If Luke Campbell, the godfather of raunch, rap, and debauchery, didn't stay at your party, then you know your party was completely and utterly ridiculous, man. Yeah. So you know, since we did go there, okay. Just a quick segue. Not gonna go too far. Don't even turn the blinker on. Why when do you think he's gonna actually get arrested?
Oh,
because you notice the FBI has been raiding a lot of people this year, but the people ain't got arrested. Tiffany Henyard, the mayor of Oakland, P. Diddy, they're raiding folk, but they're not doing anything with it. Like, what's going on?
My cynical perspective will be when they need a news story to cover something else up.
Facts. Okay. No, that's fine. I can dig that. Oh, somebody say he's not gonna get arrested. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm just wondering, like, what's up with all these raiding folk, but nothing's going on, like nothing's happening. So maybe it's just a news cycle. Like, save it. Again, like Tiffany Henyard got raided, the mayor of Oakland got raided, P. Diddy got all this year, and I'm sure there's others that I'm forgetting as well. And
but I will say this too: the federal government is notoriously slow for bringing charges because they typically don't bring charges until their case is so airtight. So when they bring charges, you automatically plead because you're not beating it. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought the charges. All right.
Okay, then, and I've understood that, and I've heard that. I've heard that as well. But I'm like, well, then why raid them in March and you don't arrest them until 2 marches from now? Like, what's the purpose of that?
They're building a case. I don't know what they got, what evidence they got. They're building a case.
Okay.
So it's a slow, when you're talking about federal, like this was some local, this was state, this was some crime. Yeah, they're going to go arrest them and all. No, the federal government moves slow.
Okay. I got you. All right. We don't want to get too far off the trail.
Yeah.
But I appreciate that. That's dope. Yeah, man, this is going to be a very interesting 100 days until the election. But let me ask you a question, Kevin. November 5th comes up, the election. Let's say it's a clean election. There's not a whole bunch of shenanigans and hijinks after the fact. And we know by the 10th who is the new president. And sadly, it's not the person that you want it to be. Kevin, will you be wringing your hands, woe is me, walking down the street looking like the sky is falling? And what's going to be your posture if the person you want to be elected doesn't get elected on November 5th? What's going to be your posture?
That Christ is still on the throne, and his kingdom is not of this world, and we belong to a different kingdom, right? And so we participate in this, But at the end of the day, I mean, it's the world, and we know where the world's gonna go. And yeah, we want to, as Christians, we want to influence where we live as much as possible while we're here,
Absolutely.
through the spreading of the gospel, evangelism, and through the democratic process. We want to make it better for our kids and all this type of stuff. But at the end of the day, man, I am not surprised when the world is the world. All right. I'm for real. Like,
No, I know, because I just remember something. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna really kick the beehive in a second. So go ahead.
no, I'm just saying, like, no, the world is the world. And I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised when people are deceived. I'm not surprised when people would rather vote for a baby deleter. I'm not surprised when people would rather vote for, someone who's going to, have, transitional surgeries for kids, who is going to try to put all types of alphabet community material in your child's school. Somebody would rather vote for that because of her melanin count, right? Rather than,
Thanks.
I'm not surprised when that stuff happens, right? And so I jokingly said earlier, and I've been jokingly saying, I really do hope that America is as racist and as sexist as they claim it is, because this is one time where I want men to be like, I can't vote for her.
Right.
This is one time I want some people to just be like, I can't vote for her. I hate it be on those bases. I always say it should be on the basis of policy and ideas. But in this case, this is one case I'll just take whatever.
I got you. All right, so I'm gonna kick a beehive here. So here we go. So Kev, did you watch that opening ceremony?
I'll be honest, man. I did not.
Yeah.
I'm aware of what happened. I've seen the screenshots and the videos of the mocking of the Lord's Supper. But outside of that, I'm not surprised it was. I mean, in the world, man, how did drag queens become the most popular thing in the world?
Wow.
How did this become something that was something to
Celebrated.
uplift and celebrate?
Yeah. I agree 100,000%.
It's crazy.
Speak to this thing, Kevin. Help me understand, because I'm watching, on the Twitter and stuff like that. It is interesting that the Olympic Committee took down that video. So literally, you're watching people shaky phone cams of it because it's all gone. They scrubbed it, which is interesting. They're able to scrub bad things off the internet when they want to. I'm not going to say anything out loud, but it sure seems like y'all when y'all want to. But speak to the point that are you offended that they mocked the picture of the Lord's Supper, Michelangelo's Lord's Supper, or whoever that was, Da Vinci? I don't care.
Da Vinci,
Is that what you're upset about? What are you disappointed in? What is your issue with?
Like I said, first, I didn't get so much upset as, because like I said, the world is going to be the world.
Absolutely.
To me, it is just a sign of how far the world has fallen, right? To where you believe that, and it's the thing, they think it's okay to mock God, to mock Christianity, right?
Yep.
But they would never do it to Islam, right? They would never have a drag queen up there to mimic Muhammad, right? There's just no reverence for what has built Western society, and that's Christianity, right?
Facts and evidence.
It is the current don't get it twisted. There's no such thing as a Christian nation. America isn't some highly blessed thing, right? But the reason they hate America and they hate Western society has a lot to do with their hatred of God. They hate what built what is, right? And what built what is Christianity. And so it's this tying together of, downfall of America, downfall of the West, and it's downfall of Christianity, because they understand you can't have Christianity and also have their progressive leftist Marxist utopia that they want, right?
Yes.
And so when they're deconstructing, and that's why it's so dangerous for Christians to deconstruct, because you're just using the tools that's meant to tear down your faith your Orthodox Christian beliefs. But yeah, the whole thing must be torn down. That's why, we talk about the Smithsonian put out that graphic of what is whiteness, right? Christianity was on there as whiteness.
Correct.
So that's what thing. So Black Christians need to understand when they say we need to get rid of whiteness, Christianity is a part of that coalition of what they call whiteness, right? And so, when I see what they're doing, I understand it. I get it. It is where the world is, and it's the fact that they would have the nerve to mock God. Now, these people are going to see judgment. They're going to see judgment, right? And it is only by the Lord's grace that the Olympics are even still going on, because he could have ended it at that moment, right?
Right.
But they're living on borrowed time. They're living on borrowed time. They are under the wrath of God. And as Christians, it's our job to warn them of that. So, like I said, so I wasn't angry, just because, man, the world is just, as I observe the world and this movement of Marxism and this movement of anti-Western, anti-Christianity, I'm not surprised that they're going so far out the way to mock the God of the Bible, to mock Christianity, to mock, our faith, because they and to do it with drag queens.
Yep.
Right. It is showing how far their hatred is. Right.
Facts.
So
I also want to point out that it's a mockery of what the actual Lord's Supper actually does and what its role in our faith is. We don't worship a man or an image, so the painting is not the issue. It's a mockery of what was actually done when he instituted the Lord's Supper as a reflection in our physical representation of our salvation. And to have men and women who are confused in their sexuality and a child, y'all better start investing in some millstones, because I'm telling you right now, millstone stock is going to shoot up through the roof. That they had a child on there, even.
Yeah.
And the such of that nature. And please don't tell me there was just some, happenstance or whatever. Most people in this chat are not even buying into that lie. But the fact that they're mocking, it's not the image of Christ, because I don't believe that you should make images of Christ at all, but is the representation of what he did for me, what he did for Kevin, what he did for those who are trusting in him and him alone. For you to mock him in such of that nature, because please understand, you're mocking the life raft that is available to you, because there is no other life raft. And I know somebody said that they're going to do that to Muhammad. They're not going to do that, because Muhammad is a false religion. Islam is a false faith. So there's no reason to mock it. There's no reason to mock Buddhism or Hinduism or Jehovah's Witness or Mormonism. There's no reason to, because they're false from the word go. There's no reason to do a deep study of counterfeit $9 bill, because it's not real.
Yeah. And I will say this too. You also have to understand the oppression matrix, right?
Yes.
And in the oppression matrix, in the religion category, Christianity is the oppressor, right? So they're not going to make fun of those others because they view them as oppressed religion. And so Christianity is fair game. The whole about punching up, right?
Facts.
Christianity is fair game because it is the oppressor. It is whiteness. It is what needs to be destroyed.
And so I did my video the other day, and I said, I'm not really surprised. Like, why are we surprised about this? But I do want to point out, like, what we should know. I just would love for people to get tired of this and stop participating in it. If you didn't turn on your television during this entire Olympics, if everybody who said, you know what, that's out of pocket, that was a little lap too far, and you just didn't turn on your television and refuse to support them, that would be monstrous.
I mean, that's what I'm doing.
Right. It would be, and again, you don't have to participate. And Kevin, feel free to chime in on this. I feel like we elevate, because as soon as you tell people, I don't watch a lot of television. I've never gone to Disney World. I'm not really a big fan of that kind of stuff. I don't really go to movies that much anymore. The first thing they do is say, well, what do you do for entertainment? I'm like, well, I'm a grown man, so entertainment is not really high on my list because I'm starting as I get older. I'm starting to understand what James Whitaker was about. Like, there was no way I would have ever thought to ask my dad, "What do you do for entertainment?" There's no way I would have done that. My dad's entertainment was having a car jacked up in the garage, blasting some Al Green, and having me come out there and push the brakes so he can bleed the brakes. That's what my dad's entertainment was. And I'm starting to understand it now. Like, I don't get entertained by the things that I used to get entertained by. So back to the point, we don't have to do this. Like, entertainment is not the high watermark of success in our lives. Sure, we want peace and quiet, and we want to rest from our weary days. I got you. But the idea that all we got to do is, oh, if I don't watch the Olympics, then I'm not getting, man, go on somewhere with that. Y'all grown. Stop it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was going to tune in, but once that happened, I was like, you know what? I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. And I mean, and I've said it before, I think the Olympics are well over their shelf life. They should have ended several iterations ago. They're well over their shelf life.
Hey
Last
man,
night,
they got break dancing in this year. No lie, break dancing is an Olympic sport.
yeah, you know what, Kevin? I can't take you no more, Kevin. I just got to do it. I can't take Kevin no more. I'm done with Kevin. We done kicked Kevin off the show. Kevin's gone. Everybody just say goodbye to Kevin. Type bye Kevin in the chat. All right, never mind. They said they want you back, Kev. Dude, don't tell me. They do not have. Well, I heard, you know what my daughter said they got was esports. They got video game playing as a sport. That's how you know we're done. It's over.
Yeah,
It's a wrap.
yeah.
It's a wrap. Just go ahead and put look at it as a reflection. It's something that's over. It's done. It's finished. Just let it go.
Yeah.
Once you bring esports into the Olympics, it's done. It's over.
Boy,
It's
you don't
good.
want to see these thumbs, son.
You don't want these thumbs, bruh. These thumbs are serious. Like, let it go. Let it go. It's okay. Let it slide on by. Wow. Somebody said they want to watch breakdancing. Okay. Okay.
The Americans better win.
Bro, I hope America loses in every single category. Hands
Hey,
down.
what
I hope they bring back.
if the American breakdance team ain't even black?
That would be so wild. But there you go. Like, again, there you go. I don't even care. Yeah. So yeah, the comments in here are out of this world. Y'all are out of control. But yeah. So Kevin, man, I appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much.
Hey man,
Uh,
absolutely.
Hey, real quick, what do you got going on your channel? By the way, if the moderators, I think they already did, if y'all could drop Kevin's off code podcast in the chat, or Kevin, if you could,
Yeah.
that'd be fantastic. What do you got going on? Anything new? Exciting?
Yeah, man. Like I said, we got a show coming up on our Black people about principle, about power, right? And we're going to really talk about that and break it down. Like I said, I'll let you know when we're going to record it, and we can, be good to have you on too.
I'm gonna come over and get my black card.
Bro,
my
once you
black
cross
card
the line, once you cross the line to us, it's gone.
No, I don't lose my black card because I'm holding on to it because I can cook. So guess what? I can throw the cookout.
No.
I throw
Like
the
you
cookout.
said, you got the Morehouse, so you in for life. They can't really take it.
Y'all gotta deal with me. I'm house for life.
They can make it inactive, but they can't take it.
They can't make me inactive. I pay my alumni dues. Go on somewhere, kick rocks, kick all them rocks between here and Pluto, my guys. I'm good. We family to the end, and we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it.
Yeah, but not just off code. Just take out the Center for Biblical Unity and everything that's going on over there. It's a lot of good content put out. I'm currently getting ready to write another article for them. We've got book clubs coming up, and then just the other variety of podcasts and shows that we have over there. So
I love it. I love it, man. Thank you so much, man, Kevin. I appreciate you stopping by tonight.
Absolutely, man. Anytime.
I appreciate it, man. So anything good, I'll make sure I reach out to you. Y'all, thank Kevin real quick. Thank Kevin for stopping by. He took the time to hang out with me the whole time. I didn't know if he was going to be the whole night or part of it. And lo and behold, especially since I started late, I'm like, Kevin's not going to want to hang out. Lo and behold, Kevin was here and kicked it the whole time. So I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much.
Anytime, man.
I appreciate you. Everybody, thank you so much. Type Kevin in the chat. we're gonna get ready to get up out of here because Lady Dearwood Christian is cooking something, and it don't smell like greens out of the tub. She's cooking something, and it smells pretty good.
Hey, before she washed them greens in the tub, you think she got the ring out the tub?
Bruh, dude, like that. I was like, you do realize that's a joke. That's a joke. That's not something.
She don't. That's how you know she's not from the
Yo,
culture,
she
man.
literally said she washed them in the tub. Somebody should have said, hold up. Wait.
That's the red.
Hold on, I'm gonna have to go back.
Right there.
I'm gonna have to go back and edit that short that I put up. I'm gonna have to edit that because I'm like, wait, hold on. Wait, what? That's a joke. That's not supposed to be what you do. Oh my god.
But anyway, man, get out of here. Y'all have a good night. I'll see y'all next time.
You got it. Thank you so much, Kevin. I appreciate you. All right, that was Kevin from Off Code Podcast. Thank Kevin for coming through, man. I really appreciate it. Y'all, I thank y'all so much for hanging out with me tonight. The lay of the land, just give you a quick lay of the land before we get ready to bug out of here. Tomorrow is Monday. I plan on just doing a quick survey of what's going on in the YSL case, as well as a couple other little check the traps types of conversations. And on Tuesday, court will be in session. So Judge Whitaker will be back in the house and everybody else will be there. I have good authority that we will have a special guest on Tuesday, probably Fonnie Willis. And the reason I say that is because they're going to, some of the first motions they're going to be dealing with and wrangling with is whether or not DA Love and DA Hilton should be jettisoned from the case. They can't argue the case. They can't argue for their recusal. So they're going to have to call somebody in. The likelihood is that they're going to probably call Fonnie Willis in. So that's going to be wild to watch Fonnie and Judge Whitaker, and as well as Steele and the others. That's going to be some must-see TV. The rest of the week, we got a lot of fun stuff planned, but we're going to play it by ear as it relates to the YSL case. So we got a lot going on. I have not, somebody just asked a question about Misha Maynor. Yeah, I haven't heard much about her case. I really would love to hear. She's the one that sued Fonnie Willis because she allowed somebody who was stalking her to continue to stalk her. And I would love to hear if anybody has a relationship with Misha Maynor. I would absolutely love to talk to her about that because she had a fantastic case. She did a great presser. That's the woman that had people who were involved with the Fulton County Jail and some other weird cases that are going on in Atlanta. And she did a great job. And I'd love to talk to her. Absolutely. So that's the rest of the week. And school starts here in a couple of days. So I have 2 high schoolers on Wednesday or Thursday. I have 2 high schoolers on Thursday. And so that's going to be pretty wild. So I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you so much for the live chats. Thank you so much for everybody who helped out with the super chats. Thank you so much for supporting this channel. It really does mean a lot to me. I hope that doesn't go without saying, that you all being here in the chat, you all supporting with supers and all that kind of stuff means a whole lot. And I really do appreciate it. And wait. Oh, really, Kev? Oh, please, absolutely. Introduce me to him, please. I would greatly appreciate it. I really do appreciate you all supporting. Thank you so much to the moderators. You all do a fantastic job. Thank you so much. I could not do this without you. And the moderators are really the backbone of this show. And I really appreciate it. I don't want it to go without saying that you all are a real blessing. And I thank you all, each and every one of you. Thank you so much to the Chad Jackson. So we all go over to Chad O. Jackson's channel. I know he's talking about Kamala Harris right now as well. I appreciate y'all jumping over there. Tell him thank you so much for the video montage. That was a great blessing. He really helped us out a lot with that. And everybody, you all are amazing. So I'm looking forward to seeing you all real soon. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace. Take care. Have a great night.